Hey guys, this is RaidersFan3179. Before we get started the video, this is my part one of the story of life as a fan. This is the Oakland Raiders edition of me being a fan. Now, before we get started with the video, this was inspired by Tim Horn's The History of MTWS. For those of you guys that did saw Tim Horn's video of the history of MTWS, you guys will recognize the song from the background that he used for his videos. So I decided to use the same background song of one of his videos and all that stuff just to make it, just to make entertainment and a little documentary story and all that stuff. And just to let you guys know, this is the part one of the Oakland Raiders edition. There will be a part two coming soon. I'll let you guys know when, or maybe someday soon. But it doesn't mean I won't stop. I will be doing more videos because a lot of you guys fans saying yes, yes, do it. I was gonna do Monster Jam videos because of that, but I decided to add all my teams in it, so just to give them props. So, anyways, sit back and relax and enjoy the video and eat your snacks while you guys can. Okay, so this is how it all started. So it was back in 2003. So at the time, I was a Dodger and a Laker fan. Yup, Raiders were not the first professional team. It was the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, don't get me wrong. The Dodgers are still close to my heart, but my heart is also Raiders. But it's all good. I'll talk about the Dodgers in a different video of this life as a fan. But anyways, let's get to the point. So it was the year 2003. I was at the swap meet called Santa Fe Swap Meet. I believe it was back in Orange County in Anaheim. Somewhere around Orange County, somewhere like closer to Anaheim. I was walking around holding my dad's hand, and for some reason I was looking at some of the booth sections, where they sell stuff at the swap meet. And then for some reason, I saw the Raider logo. When I first saw the logo, I was like, it's a weird looking logo. Like, at the time, the logo looked so weird. Like, dang, like I never seen a logo like that until a couple of days or weeks later. My uncle was watching Monday Night Football, and he was watching the Raiders versus the Patriots. I believe it was the Raiders home, and for starters, I saw that logo, and that was a professional team. I don't have a football team, and I said to myself, "Yup, this is my professional team." And I've been a Raider fan since day one, and that's when I all started, when I became a Raider fan. I never watched no Raider games, but none of that stuff. I heard they were a losing team, like they were bad, and they're like, they're not that good. And clearly what's funny is that I think 2 years after I became a Raider fan, I told my dad, at the time when Los Angeles doesn't have a football team, I told my dad, "Dad, are there any other NFL teams do we have here in LA?" My dad says no, but he did tell me that the Raiders were from LA, which I think he noticed I was a Raider fan. And I was like, "Wait, really?" He's like, "Yeah." Until I didn't know that the Raiders were in Los Angeles. I know that they represent a different city. At the time, I didn't know until it took me like a few years until I realized there are cities called Oakland. That's where they come from, which it's like on the top side of Northern California, which, I grew up in Southern California. So anyways, as like when I was doing my thing and everything and all that stuff, I didn't care less about care less about the players or anything, but I mean, I like the Raiders. I just became a fan for the heck of it because at least I have a football team. Because I became a Dodger, Laker, and a Raider fan, all three teams. But however, things changed during my high school of senior year at the time. Okay, so before I started senior in high school, I remember the time when I was watching Super Bowl 48. Was my first ever watching the very first full game in professional games. I mean, I don't watch professional games mostly fully at the time because I get bored too easy. But when I saw Seattle Seahawks versus the Denver Broncos, oh man, I remember Russell Wilson was doing a lot better, especially the Legion of Doom when they were knocking off Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. I was like, damn, man, the Broncos are getting smoked and destroyed by the Seattle Seahawks at the time. So it makes me feel like, when can I watch more NFL games? When NFL season started, before I started watching my very first Raider game, I was watching multiple teams. My first time watching the full game was the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants at Sunday Night Football. What's funny is that when we were watching it, the Eagles were destroying the New York Giants and they were blowing them out. Like, really so sad. And it was so sad to be a Giants fan at the time. So anyways, I was watching some random teams, everything. And however, I want to ask myself, when can I watch my first Raider game? Until the answer came true. My first time watching the Raider game was us against the Denver Broncos. That's when Derek Carr's his first season. When I first saw Derek Carr, for some reason, I don't know why, but to all you Monster Jam fans that are watching this, he kind of looked like Adam Anderson for some reason. I don't know why, but he does kind of look like Adam Anderson. When I first saw him at the time, well, now not anymore, but that was when I first saw him. I remember when he was facing the Denver Broncos, man, we were blown. Like, we were destroyed. We were crushed. Like, literally, we got destroyed. And the funniest thing is that I was betting on one of my friend who is a Bronco fan. I bet him, and I told him if the loser will buy the winner a snack. And guess what? I lost the bet, so I bought my friend some snacks after that, which it was really pissed me off. One thing that did piss me off from Derek Carr at the time when I first saw him play, when he was trying to snap the ball, he accidentally fumbled the ball and he retrieved it. I'm like, come on, Derek, you could do better than that. And until when I realized that, yep, I was watching and I was studying every Raider game, man, it was a really sad blowout during 2014 season. And thank God we never went 0-16 because all that stuff. However, I did saw my first Raider win, which I didn't saw it on TV. Sadly, I didn't. Was us against the Kansas City Chiefs. My goodness, man. Man, what a game that has been. I thought we were going to lose because they said that the Chiefs were like, they had a 15-game or 5-game winning streak. I believe it was 5-game at the time. I'm not so sure. But I thought we were going to lose because, how good they are and stuff like that. But, however, they were wrong and nobody was wrong in this one and nobody was right because guess what? Whoever said Raiders are going to lose, guess what? Wrong answer because you know why? We won the game. Oh my goodness. I was watching some of the highlights of during the Kansas City Chiefs game again when we were facing them at our home at Thursday Night Football. Oh my goodness, man. The Raiders were doing great. Derek Carr was doing great passes, especially Latavius Murray. Oh my gosh, man. Those were the days. I still miss him so much, even to this day as a Raider. Latavius Murray, man, what a running back that when he did that first touchdown. Oh my gosh, when he jumped over to the end zone at the black hole, oh man, that was so amazing. And plus Khalil Mack, man, even to this day, I still miss him as a Raider. My goodness, great sacks and also so many great players, man. At least we do have the talent, but the thing that really pissed me off is how come we can't fight a little harder at the time? Well, it's all good, it's what it is, but now I'm hoping they come back up. But anyways, I remember when Derek Carr was doing some great passes, everything. We stopped Kansas City's offense from making the first down last play, and we finally got our win. Oh man, it was amazing, all that stuff. And including what's funniest fact is after the Chiefs game when we were facing the Rams, oh man, I was so embarrassed, man. 52-0 was so embarrassing, especially when we lost. I mean, if it was us against them, if we would have 52, they had 0, that's a different story. But since, oh my goodness, if it was switch, oh my goodness, man, I was so embarrassed. It clearly makes me feel like I want to grab a paper bag and cover my head. No, really. But it's all good. I still love my Raiders no matter what. But after that, after the bad game against the Rams, when we faced the San Francisco 49ers, I was expecting we were going to lose the game. But for some reason, we beat the 49ers and we crushed them off the playoffs and we owned the Bay. My goodness, man, those were the days. And after that, after a little bit of some problems and stuff like that, our last win, which was my first ever seeing the Raiders won on TV, was against the Buffalo Bills. Oh my gosh, man, we crushed the Buffalo Bills. It was so really rad, especially to see the Raiders' first win. Oh my goodness, I wish I could go back because what's funny is that my job was doing this Christmas party thing. Before I went there, the Raiders, we were, when we won on the last half, I was telling my sister, even though she's a Cowboys fan, Raiders won, can't believe it. And I couldn't get over with it. And also, during the off season, when I was still in my second semester senior high school, one of my good friends got me into this book called Al Davis, Just Win Baby, the story of the Los Angeles Raiders. I read the entire book. Oh my gosh, man. It has so many histories and so many of things, what they said about the Raiders, saying that Al Davis, about this and that. And after the off season, which, at the time I missed football season, which I know I'm always going to miss football season after it's all, but it's all good. I know it'll come back again. But oh my gosh, man. I remember I was still watching so many Raider videos on YouTube. I was studying Al Davis, man, the creator of the owner of the Oakland Raiders. Oh my goodness. including I always wanted to meet the guy, but unfortunately he passed away after I barely known him, because at the time, that was 2015, that was 5 years he was been gone. If I would have known him a long time ago, man, I would have get a chance to meet him if I would have, man. But sadly, I never get a chance to. But you know, it's all good. Even though I know Mark Davis, maybe someday I'll meet him soon once they come to Vegas. But anyways, so during the time, my goodness, I was watching so many Raider videos, especially one of the moments I can never get over with was when the Raiders were in Los Angeles. The last time we won the Super Bowl, when we represent LA, Marcus Allen's Super Bowl run. Oh my gosh, man, that day. My goodness, man, I couldn't get over it, especially when, even though I didn't exist at the time, but when I watched it on YouTube on America's Game, oh my goodness, Marcus Allen, man, what a great Super Bowl run has he done. At that time, I was like, oh my goodness, man, that's good old Marcus Allen. Oh my goodness, man. Every time whenever I watch the videos, I get chills and I want to start all over again the video every time they play the Raiders theme song in the background. Man, those were the days. Okay, so during 2015 season, oh my goodness, man, we went to 7-9. My favorite moment was, oh my gosh, so many things, and the hated parts of losing things. Let's start with this one. During the Bengals game, I thought we were going to win, but for some reason, they really give us a big upset, and I was so pissed. I was like, oh my gosh, are they the same Raiders again? But turns out that is not true, because guess what? The Raiders came by to defeat the Baltimore Ravens, and after that, we've been winning so many games. And by the way, as I mentioned before, when we were facing the Buffalo Bills last season, when the Raiders beat them, I didn't watch the full game. I only watched the last half of the game. My very first time was watching the Raiders. First win in a very full game, watching from the beginning of the kickoff all the way to the end of the score when the game was over, was against the Chargers at week 3 at San Diego. Believe it or not, one of my security guards from my high school was there, and he was supporting the Los Angeles Raiders movement, and it was awesome for him. I wish I could have been there hanging out with him, but maybe someday soon when the Raiders come to Vegas. But it's all good. Oh man, including one of my favorite moments is that when Phillip Rivers, he accidentally got an intercepted on one of the plays, man, and then we made a touchdown on the next game. Oh my goodness, including when the Raiders won, man, that was amazing. And little did I know, I was like, wait a minute, why are there so many? Are there a lot of Raider fans in San Diego? Wow. It turns out that we are. No wonder why the Charger fans don't like us, because, you know, we sold out their game, because we know, but it's all good. Anyways, I've been seeing so many improvements throughout the season. The only thing I was so mad is that during the Lions game, I wish the Raiders could have won, because that could have been an easy game, but it wasn't true. But however, during the Broncos game, I didn't lose faith on the Raiders, but I lost faith of winning because they're too good and stuff, especially when Peyton Manning was injured. Brock Osweiler took over. Guess what? Khalil Mack sacked not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 times on Brock Osweiler. And guess what? The Raiders have defeated the Denver Broncos at their home. Oh my God, for the first time in a long time. I mean, if it wasn't meant for the Broncos wearing their orange jerseys, we could have won, because every time when they face their orange jerseys, they keep beating us. But I hope we'll beat them in their orange jerseys, but maybe some other time. But the only thing disagrees, man, we could have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know how the heck they got us smart back, but I don't know, probably because they have good players and stuff. But anyways, during the 2015 season, what a great record. Even though sadly we came to 3rd, but at least we didn't came to 4th, because, you know, the Chargers made it to 4th. But even though Broncos won the division, because that was Peyton Manning's last season, I did saw Super Bowl 50, but unfortunately, it was one of the most boring Super Bowls. I couldn't even watch it. Compare it as Super Bowl 49. Okay, for those guys who didn't know this, I think Super Bowl 49 was a lot better. I did saw the entire Super Bowl. That Super Bowl was way better. Even though that, yeah, I know a lot of Raider fans don't like the Patriots. I'm not really into Patriots, but I gotta say that was a better Super Bowl than Super Bowl 50. No offense. It's not because the Broncos won, because I know they're rival teams. Because if it was like a good game, like a good close game, that would have been a good Super Bowl. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, I was expecting a good Super Bowl. But anyways, during next season, what happened was, oh my goodness, man, when Jack Del Rio in his 2nd season, which I forgot to mention. Oh my goodness, I had faith on Jack Del Rio. Guess what? Next season, during the week 1 against the Saints, when we beat the Saints, okay, so here's what really happened. When they were doing this, this touchdown 2-point converted, I was like, Jack, no, don't do it, man. That's not worth it. And guess what? Psych. we won the game. Oh my goodness. And we've been winning so many games. We had 12-4 record, but unfortunately, the only games that are disagreement was the Chiefs game, man, because I don't know how the heck the Chiefs can beat us, and I don't know how the Falcons can even beat us too, but I think because the Falcons were good, Chiefs are too good. But the Broncos, if only Derek Carr didn't got injured. But during the Panthers game, oh my gosh, it was the most talked about game in Raider Nation history, how we beat the Carolina Panthers. But unfortunately, during the Colts game, when we beat the Colts, Derek Carr was injured. Then we went to Matt McGloy, fortunately didn't work out great. We went to Connor Cook, which I don't know why a lot of Raider fans don't like him, but to me, I think he was a good player. Connor Cook tried his best, but even though when we made it to the playoffs for the first time since 2003, unfortunately, we got bankrupt and destroyed by the Texans. I mean, we beat the Texans before at Mexico, man. Oh my goodness, our first ever game all the way in Mexico, man. There were so many Mexican fans love the Raiders, man. I wish we could have another Mexico game. Like, no offense to the UK, I think I like Mexico more than the UK. No offense, but I'd rather not see a UK game. I think it's best off we should play in Mexico. But all of that, when we finished that record, man, it was kind of a bummer and sadly situations and stuff. But you know, it's all good. Until next season in 2017 season, everything has to be changed. And here's what happened. Thank you for watching my Raiders edition. This is going to be a part 1 video, but letting you guys know part 2 will be on its way soon as I can. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy my video. Don't forget to give me a shout out on Instagram, and I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later.